So I don't. There we go. So yeah, I really want to record this because so many people struggle with business plan for those two reasons. Either they have a plan that they don't love, it just does not play to their strength, or it's a plan that just simply isn't robust enough to take them to their stated goal. So we're going to talk about that this morning. I know Carrie Thompson's going to share some facets of her plan and that she uses with her team. And I love the gift of learning from everybody else. John Vecchia, I believe, will as well, although he's delayed a little bit this morning. Mike Taylor is getting ready for a huge meeting at 9:30 in our financial world. So I don't know if we're going to have Mike or not, but Carrie, good morning. Thanks for being with us. And Carrie, you're muted. I'm assuming that you're talking and we're not hearing you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Vecchia. I'm impressed. You were behind it all this morning. So, Carrie, good morning. Are you able to jump in here? I see Carrie on, but you're muted. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, John, let's start with you. Look at you. It's cold, but it's not that cold.
It is that cold. It was 37 degrees when I went to work out this morning.
I am right there with you, and I was feeling it too out on those trails. It's kind of fun, kind of nice. A little cooler than normal for us, but very nice. So John, share some experiences as far as business planning and what's worked for you and your team. Where's the breakdown happen with most people?
Well, from personal experience, I can tell you the breakdown happens within me. And if I'm not on top of my goals all the time, it just doesn't work. You know, and I'll tattletale on myself. This year, I have not kept up the way I should, and I'm getting back on it and starting my planning for the year. I sent you some information on the RPM system that I use. RPM stands for Rapid Planning Method. And every Sunday I plan the week, and based upon the goals that I set up to see whether my goals for the year are in line with or if what I'm doing every day and every week is in line with my goals, and if not, I've got to change something.
I love that. And of course, we all know what we focus on expands.
And nobody's perfect. And the difficulty is the best plans, the best everything that you do, you've got to work on it every day.
It's like a moonshot. I mean, it's a process. You know, they say, the scientists say that, the physicists, that, you know, when a rocket's flying to the moon, that it's off course the majority of the time. And that's the reality, that they're continually readjusting. It's off a little bit one direction, then it's off a little bit, but they're continually focused and redirecting it to accomplish the goal. And, you know, implementing our goals is the same way. It's an imperfect process.
It's like sailing. I don't know how many of you sail. You've got a place that you want to get to. You can't get there going straight necessarily. So at one point you're tacking one way, tacking another, sometimes you're coming downwind, but it all depends on what the wind is. And you can't judge where the wind is, whether you're going to get a lot of wind today or little. All you know is that you've got a goal of getting from one place to the next, and you just have to keep adjusting.
Regardless of the circumstances that show up that day as potential obstacles. Great point. Mike, good morning. I know you have a big meeting at 9:30, so I'm not sure if you're staying on all the time.
Yeah, I'll stay on. I'll stay on until about 9:20 or something.
And if you want to share a word or two, Carrie Thompson is going to share her screen and share some facets of a very exciting business plan that she's had tremendous success with her team. But Mike, do you want to say a couple words before we jump to Carrie?
Well, really what it's all about is figuring out what you're going to do every day to move your opportunity to represent buyers or sellers. And that's it. You got to keep it basic, simple, fundamental, because it's all fundamental. And so many people, try to win the game without paying attention to those fundamentals, and it doesn't work. Period. It just doesn't work. So I would say that you should know when you get up every day exactly what you're going to do. And as John has so artfully shared with us, that sometimes the wind blows in a different direction and you might have to modify what you're going to do, but that doesn't mean you ever take your eye off the goal. Always keep your eye on the goal and then modify whatever you need to do in order to still achieve that goal.
And that's the art. Yeah, that's the art.
That's really the art. And, we're in the hand-to-hand combat business. We're in the people business. So we need to talk to people. We need to educate ourselves so we have the confidence to talk to people and have the confidence to share a story. Okay. But if you have that confidence, then people are going to gravitate towards you and want to have your opinion on things. And that's really key in our business.
Boy, is it ever. I mean, I have a doctor's appointment later today. I've blown it off for a few years from COVID, but I go to this guy because I feel such peace over the fact that he's so confident about what he does and he's into what he does. And I think that dynamic in any service profession is so key. Carrie, I see you on screen now. Do we have sound as well as sight, or?
Yes, I'm here. There's an echo.
Somebody else has got,
Somebody else in the same room on the Zoom?
Okay, Derek.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Have
We've got
them mute.
technical difficulties.
Just one of the hurdles that we deal with in executing our plan every
That's
day.
okay. Well, hold on a second. If somebody else wants to speak for a minute, I'm going to get Eric in here to fix this.
Okay. All right, good deal. And and again, let me encourage you. If you don't like your plan, change your plan. If you don't like your approach, if you don't like the activities that you wake up in the morning and say, this is what I'm going to do today, you're in serious trouble, because the likelihood of you implementing it, and then even if you do implement it, the likelihood of someone else being drawn toward it is nil, because you're not even liking it. If you're not liking the journey that you've chosen to be on today, why would anybody else want to join you in the journey? And there is not one way to skin the cat in real estate. If you line up the top 100 agents in Southern California, say, what do they all have in common? You'd be blown away, because the diversity is crazy. Someone is a prospector and follows Mike Ferry. Someone else is a networker. They've never made a cold call in their life. Every personality type, every age, fill in the blank. So good news. You don't have to be like somebody if that is not a method that empowers you and excites you. And you got to get real and honest about this, because a lot of people have a plan that they don't love. They're not confident. They don't feel it plays their strength there. And
No,
so
I don't hear the volume on here.
Okay, Carrie, we good?
Scott, the one thing that all of the top producers have in common is, one, they work really hard at whatever whatever their plan or whatever their activity that they're comfortable with. And two is that they never lose sight of the goal. So you're right, they don't have everything in common in terms of what they do on a day-to-day basis, but in terms of setting the goal and working hard, every single one of them do that.
Man, Mike, that is so key. They are serious as a heart attack about accomplishing that goal, that drive, that grit, that ambition. They all have that in common.
They all
Everybody.
have that in common. And in all candor, that same trait is what every successful person has in any business in
So
common.
true. Oh my gosh.
You know, it's that whether it's, you know, playing basketball like Michael Jordan, or if it's going to outer space, or if it's selling toothbrushes, it doesn't matter. The person who's at the top of their field, they have the same goal and the same drive.
I tell you, that is so key. And I hear people say over the years, hey, I'm going to try real estate. My first thought is, you're already dead. You've already lost. If your attitude is, I'm going to try real estate, you're dead. It's too competitive. It's too difficult. You know, and the people that say, hey, I'm so excited to make this work. I'm not sure exactly how. I'm working on that, but I know one thing, I'm going to make it work. And that's a huge part.
All
Carol,
right, I'm
are we
ready.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're good. Share
It
your
takes-
screen. Talk about your plan.
It takes a village, I tell you.
All right, we're good now.
All right. So Lindsay's gonna pull it up. Oh my goodness.
Can you able us from sharing? It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. We're good to go.
Okay. Minimize that one. All right. Can you guys see this?
No,
Not yet.
Okay. It's
you're on mute now, Carrie.
Da, 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 da,
How many realtors does it take to share a screen? Tell you what we might do. We might next Monday be set up to have one of our staff just, you know, we'll have someone that their whole job on this Zoom meeting is just to facilitate sharing, and so we can.
There's a setting on yours that says allow others to share screen. Go back and take a look. You'll find it.
Right. Well, it now is set to multiple participants can share simultaneously. So,
You know, in lieu of sharing a screen, let's pretend like we're all blind. Okay. And Carrie, walk us through step by step what your plan is. And then we can all imagine it. We can write it down. You can share it later with everybody, but let's look at each of the elements of it.
okay, no problem. Hi guys, so sorry for all this. We actually have a couple videos, and so we're still kind
Yeah,
of
you know, Sherry, just talk to us.
Okay,
we'll have somebody next Monday. We'll have
Yeah, just talk to us. Yeah,
sharing
just
the
talk to
screen. So go ahead.
everybody.
okay, so just so you know what's happening, guys, just to give you a heads up, it's saying that, there it is. It's asking permission because you guys are recording it, and there's a privacy thing that says that in order for her to do the screen sharing, that she has to allow, it says allow the apps below to record the content of your screen even while using other apps. So that's the issue we have here, but let me double check it. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
You know, this is a great lesson, and I want to share this with everybody. Never, ever, ever let technology drive your business or your message. Technology is a tool. If it doesn't work, do something else. Okay? It's only a tool. Those agents who rely on technology 100% of the time, you know, guess what happens? You don't get anything done.
Open system.
So this is a great lesson, right? Because we're sitting here allowing technology to drive our narrative.
Hurdles getting in the way. Well, yeah, let's switch to the conversation for the remainder of the day, and we'll have.
okay. Do you want me just to hop on really quick and just tell you about it? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, Carrie. No, absolutely. Just go down a list, because,
Sure.
you know, a business plan is an activity plan, right?
Right. So I
Right.
know for me, when I first started in real estate, I didn't know what to do. I had no plan. The office that I started with was with Keller Williams. They do have great training, but was there for 15 years, but I never knew what to do. I never knew had a routine, and I came from a corporate environment prior to that. So I just went in and clocked into work, right? I never had something that created daily activities for me. So through the years, mind you, 24 years later, I have designed and also did substantial coaching to help me create activities that are going to help me be successful in this business. And so what we do, or what I do, is I encourage all of my agents, obviously, to sign up for some type of coaching, which we provide here in my office, depending on what type of coaching. I've been to multiple different coachings, depending on what I need at that time. So when they get in the office, typically I encourage them to do some kind of spiritual or meditation or whatever they do first thing in the morning, whether it's exercise or anything, just to get those endorphins going, right? To set yourself up for whatever you need to for that day. Because I know for me, if I don't do those things in the morning and I pull out of my driveway and someone cuts me off, it's an absolute chaos mess. So it's really important for me to have my mindset right. So I work on that every morning at 5:30 in the morning. I get up earlier because I want to get things done before everybody else gets up. So when I get up, I do those things, and then I get to the office about 9 o'clock. By the time I get in the office, my team is typically here. They are already encouraged to be here by 9 a.m. In the office. And what we do is we have a daily activity sheet. They all log into their daily activity sheet and they start logging everything that they're doing for that day. Okay. So they have it open. They know that they need to make so many calls, which is 25 calls is what we encourage this team to do, is at least 25 calls. It doesn't have to be conversations, but at least you're reaching out to 25 people, because it's getting you in the habit. And again, these are habits, to know what you need to do every day. And then from there, there's a activity sheet. Is how many calls did you make? How many thank you cards did you send out? How many contacts did you make on those calls? How many doors did you knock for that day if you decide to go out door knocking? Door knocking could be, getting on social media and friending people, having a conversation, liking them, getting them to notice who you are. So these are all activities, and every day my agents are encouraged to get 61 points. And the reason it's 61 points is because top agents all over the nation have masterminded that this is the amount of points that you need to get every day to know that you are doing those activities to equal a transaction. So 61 points times, 5 days a week is 200 and some odd points. And if you're doing those things and you're having those conversations, you're accomplishing those daily tasks that are required for you to be able to have a successful business. So those are what I teach my agents to do. I don't have it on the screen. I sent it to Scott, unfortunately. But they do have to make calls. They have to make contacts, setting appointments. I also encourage my agents that every Wednesday to turn in what open house they're going to do. And they do an open house for somebody on the team, whoever they can. If we don't have a listing in our office, reach out to another agent, ask them if you can do an open house for them. But they are encouraged to do open houses over the weekend. We use John's book, 40 Days of Farming, for some open house routines that he does that helps us excel on doing those open houses. Whether we're knocking on doors prior to the open house, we're doing some kind of charity to get them there, to be to think outside of the box. And my agents have been doing that. They've been pretty successful with getting some pretty good leads. I know for me, I got a good lead last weekend when I was wrapping up. I think I shared this, and I listed their house yesterday. Scott and I talked yesterday. I was sick, and Scott's like, well, I'm sure you'll figure out a way, because I was going to move it for the next day because I wasn't feeling well. And I hate to go in and meet with somebody when I'm not feeling good. Scott's like, well, you could just sit on the other side of the couch. So I did that, and I got the listing. So this is what we do as far as producing, are these daily activities. And I love sharing these things with everybody. These are some of the things that I've learned through the year, and it helps us. It really helps us. Marcy's right here. She does this every single day. She can just share what it's done to her business since she started, and then we'll jump off. So Marcy, if you don't mind sharing.
Hi, Marcy. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you
So
all?
here it is.
Doing fantastic. I know that you're very successful with your business background. The real estate game is newer to you, and we know you're going to thrive in this because of your disciplines and habits that caused you to thrive, prior to real estate. So tell us about that. How's it going?
It's going well. So again, like Carrie says, I'm someone who likes to be held accountable. I hold myself accountable. So if I have something that's structured that I can use as a tool, I do my best at making sure I'm doing that on a daily basis. So I come into the office and that's when I really start going into my WSS and listing all the things that I do. I get up in the morning, I try to be consistent on what I do. Some of my things as a release is in the morning, I might walk my dog so that, my dog gets walked and then I travel to work. It usually takes me almost an hour to get here. So
Wow.
during that time, I try to listen to some podcasts or things like that on the radio on my way here. When I get into the office, I try to get here by 8:30 or so because I never know what time I'm going to get here if there is a little bit of traffic on the freeway. And I sign straight into the WSS so that I can start
Well
holding myself accountable. I
So
go,
that's Workman Success System. That's what I use for coaching my agents. And that's where this daily activity sheet is. So that's what she's referring to.
yep. So then I go into my follow-up boss and I start making my calls. Or I look at my notes that I had that on people that I needed to contact for the next day. When I first started, I didn't have any leads, so it was really easy. I had like maybe one person, so it was really easy to make my calls. But now in just a short period of time with the help of Carrie and her team and stuff, I actually have quite a bit in there. And usually on my calls, I contact and get a hold of about 4 people out of probably 25, 27 calls that I make. And what I do is on the activity sheet that you do in the WSS, I list each hour and each time I go in throughout the day and I update, okay, I did this. If I got a meeting, I get so many points. If I make my calls, I get so many points. If I see that I'm at 50 points, I'm looking at what can I do to get to my 61? Okay, who can I find to do some role play with to make sure that I'm doing that and stuff. So I really use it, and I think I'm pretty successful that every day of the week, at least Monday through Friday, I'm going in and doing whatever it takes to get my 61 points.
So being the fact that she's gotten that 61 points, she has 2 pre-approval clients right now. She held an open house last weekend. She's about to open escrow on both of those, just waiting for a couple of follow-ups from the lender. But that's what she's accomplished by starting to do these daily activities every day to get those points. She has about 6 or 7 in her pipeline, but she's got 2 pre-approvals already.
Okay.
That's unbelievable. Hey, would you send us that WSS that you have? I would love to see that.
Yes. I
You
think
know,
Scott.
there are great ideas out there, and if we all share them, it benefits us all.
Absolutely.
So here's what's clear. Carrie and Marcy, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how clear do you think they are on the plan that they're going to execute today? Clarity, scale of 1 to 10. What do you think?
Everybody's saying 10 over here.
Yeah.
Sounds like a 10. Yeah. Well, obviously you have your plan. You're excited about it. So now for everybody, where it becomes personal for you is, where am I on a scale of 1 to 10? How clear am I on the plan that I am going to execute today? And for most agents, it's kind of fuzzy. And in fact, for most agents, it's very fuzzy. So I mean, this is a great challenge for all of us. And again, your plan doesn't have to be Carrie and Marcy's plan. There are all sorts of plans that can work, but I'll tell you what doesn't work: not having clarity around the plan that you're going to execute today. Huge challenge and huge opportunity. So
Scott, what I'd like to say is what Mike said earlier on the conversation, keeping this business simple. Okay, there are so many things that cause distractions with us agents and so many new things, and everyone has an opinion about something. But I promise you, if you follow something so simple like this and you just do these activities, you're going to win. There's no, shooting from the hip and just trying to figure out what to do during the day. They have a system that we've encouraged them to do each and every day. And That's why I think I've been very successful with bringing newer agents on, is because I create a system for them through help and coaching, of course, that allows them to know what they need to do every day and to keep it super simple. Why reinvent the wheel, right?
Well, it's so true. And yeah, that's the greatest gift. I mean, there are people in this company that will have, I guarantee, have a plan that you'll resonate with. You like their style, you like their approach. Just emulate that. You don't have to have one creative thought in your whole real estate career, and don't fumble on your own. Reach out to somebody, brainstorm. You don't have to figure out your plan on your own. Gosh, within this company, you've got John McMonigal to Mike, to John, to me, to Carrie, Deborah Robinson's on this call. Deborah did about $1 million in gross commission income last year. That's somebody that's somebody to be worth talking to. By the way,
And guys, I use this for recruiting too, just so you know. We have 3 possible recruit teams this week, Scott and I use this for that. You can use it for your calls, for your contacts. If you're recruiting on your team, use this sheet. Like I said, I'll share it with you guys. It works for that too.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is great stuff. This is where the rubber meets the road. I interviewed Fred Wilson last Wednesday. It's recorded. You need to listen to that recording. Here's someone again that made about $1 million in commissions in real estate this year, having so much fun, and it is so ridiculously simple what he does. He just simply has a plan that how he's going to talk to people. And it's amazing. So, hey, I love the opportunity we all have working together, sharing together. And this is the gift. This is the gift right here. So thank you all for participating. We will have a screen share next week, and we'll actually do a trial run so that we don't have technology get in the way of anything. But
Scott, is there any way on an email that you can share all of the different plans that you got?
Yeah, I would like that.
Team put that out.
Well, all I got was Carrie's, and then I got a text from you, John, but go ahead and send that via email in a format that we can email to everybody. And we'll absolutely do that and get Carrie's out too.
Yeah,
And
I can get my coordinator to send those out to everybody. So if I can get just one email, or whoever's going to send that out, whatever you guys want me to do, I'm more than happy to share it.
I love it. We will get that out and dive into this more next week. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody, because we will not meet again until after Christmas, but excited to do that. And this is just a great start to the week. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, guys.